Alright, so the Solo Leveling Season 2 finale is finally here with episode 13, or if you want to count this how Crunchyroll counts it, episode 25. So I'm going to give you guys my review, but also my reaction and recap of this episode. But not only this episode, this season as a whole, Arise from the Shadows, because I have yet to cover it on the channel up to this point. So without further ado, let's get into my review for the Season 2 episode 13 finale. Let's go. So season 2 episode 13 is titled On to the Next Target, which I think is the perfect, title for a conclusion episode of this season, and kind of highlights the overall area and direction of where we're going with this show forward. But to get into the discussion of this episode, first we're going to have to talk about the episodes leading up to episode 13, the finale. Now, episodes 21 to 24 were some of the best anime I've ever seen in my life. I loved this build up to this final episode, and of course we had all of the S ranks gathering, all the S rank hunters gathering together. We had them sparring and duking it out and seeing who's the best amongst them all, while Sung Jin Woo is trying to hide his power from all of them. And then we had them all going on a raid together to Jeju Island, where they were soon met with an seemingly unstoppable force with these ants that were building up and raising an army on this island. We had the queen ant, of course, and at first you think, okay, they're going to be able to handle this. This is a bunch of S rank hunters. They're the best in the world by far inside of this anime, so this should be a smooth breeze. But no, of course that's not how this goes. Multiple of them end up getting their heads clean taken off. We have our final S rank crew getting put to the test. Of course they do eventually defeat the queen ant, but its offspring, which this show like to refer to as the black ant, so that's how I'm going to refer to it, the black ant, ends up being a crazy force to deal with for these S rank hunters inside of this series. Now they get put to the test. They damn near all come very close to dying. If it wasn't for their healer, Byung-gyu is I believe how you pronounce his name, he ends up dying. And then we get an amazing battle between Sung Jin Woo and the black ant. Now of course our boy is aura farming the whole time. Jin Woo aura farm throughout every single episode, really throughout this entire season. Amazing to see. He ends up defeating the black ant, and one of the S rank hunters, Hunter Cha, is left in a unhealable state, an uncurable state, at least for Jin Woo and his potions and stuff like that. Now that's pretty much for episode 12 or episode 24 concluded. So now that moves us into episode 13 or episode 25, either way you'd like to say it. On to the next target, where at the start of this episode we see Jin Woo raising Byung-gyu, the healer, the S rank healer in their group, and using him to revive Hunter Cha, which, can I just say, I absolutely love Hunter Cha. I love this character. I love her character design. I love this blonde who wields, a sword, and it's just amazing to see her fight and her combat scenes and all that type of stuff. I was very sad when I thought she had died inside of this season, but I'm glad she does end up being healed by the shadow of Byung-gyu, which another S rank hunter, I believe it was Gato was his name, does ask Jin Woo, hey, this guy hated fighting, can you remove him from your shadow army? Which Jin Woo does abide by out of respect for that fallen S rank hunter. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like he had a ton of use for an S rank healer amongst his shadow army. And personally, if I was Jin Woo, I wouldn't have given up that shadow personally, but I get it out of respect why he did it. It just seems like a waste of such an amazing talent for his shadow army. But of course he releases the extraction, and we end up seeing Jin Woo reach level 100, which I can't wait to see, what plays out with that and what comes along with that in the next season of Solo Leveling. But back to the storyline, Jin Woo, of course, extracts the shadow, extracts the spirit of the black ant, who we soon find out is granted the rank of general, which we've never seen in the show up to this point. So he's by far and very easily the strongest shadow soldier in Jin Woo's army, which he bestows upon him the name Beru, or Beru, however you would like to pronounce it now. Beru ends up cleaning up, the remainder of these ants that are left, and we see a monument go up in respects of the fallen S-rank hunters and any other hunters that fallen along the way on this raid. Now, with that comes a sit down with one of the guild masters, and he asks Jinwoo what he's going to do next with all of this power and notoriety that he now has, and Jinwoo says that he's going to be building and starting his own guild, which of course was one of his original missions from the end of season 1, where this friend that he took under his wing, I believe he even calls him little brother inside of this series, is of course going to be his partner on that going forward, which I'm sure they'll expand a lot upon that in season 3 of Solo Leveling. But there is still some more important parts of this episode to address, and that's that we see this black-haired, almost beast-looking hunter investigating the island that the raid took place on, and he's also, paired up with this blue-skinned character with like white hair. If you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. I don't exactly know their names or remember their names if they've been revealed in a previous episode. I do believe we got to see him in one other episode prior to this one though. But what's important about this scene is we see this blue character open up a portal. He pretty much opens up a dungeon to be explored, and I believe it's the dungeon that we see placed on the highway on the freeway in front of Jinwoo. They state that it's a B rank gate, which we soon come to find out that that was a complete lie, at least from the context that the show provides. Now, when Jinwoo steps into this B rank gate, of course he wants to clear it, get it out of the way of the highway real quick. He ends up discovering this is a red gate that was in disguise as a B-ranked gate, as a lower level gate. And when Jinwoo goes inside of here, it pretty much seems like it's a trap set for him. Now, of course, he reveals his entire army. We're back to the aura farming. We get to see all the monsters he's captured and shadow extracted along the way of this entire show. And it's amazing. We get another aura farm going on here. And that pretty much wraps up the season 2 finale, episode 13. Now, overall, I thought it was a great conclusion episode to just tie up all our loose ends and then refocus, our direction as to where we're going to be going in season 3, as I slightly stated previously. And if I had to give my rating not only for this season finale, but for the overall season 2 Arise from the Shadows of Solo Leveling, I would give this season 2 the rating of a 10 out of 10. It gets the 10 out of 10, a masterclass rating. This show was absolutely phenomenal. This is easily one of my favorite animes of all time. I would have it up there with the greats, okay? It's not my favorite of all time. It's not in my #1 place, but it's quite up there. I'd put it probably somewhere in my top 5, up there with the other anime greats that gets talked about, DBZ, Naruto, Attack on Titan. I personally have Death Note in my top personal 5, and I've seen plenty of other animes, a crazy amount, but I still also have a lot more to watch and a lot more that I do want to eventually cover on the channel. Now, with that being said, those are my thoughts on season 2 of Solo Leveling, and those are my thoughts on the season 2 finale episode. And I'd love to know your thoughts on the season 2 finale down in the comment section down below. So share all your thoughts, your opinions about season 2 of Solo Leveling. And if you don't know what we do here on Demigod ENT, we do film and TV reactions and reviews and other movie-based content. So if you're interested in any of this movie-based content, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.